everybody. I'd like to welcome you all to this interview with Sadie Chase-Tatko, our interviewer. And behind the camera is David Lovelet. David, can you do a quick pan around? There you go. There you go. And we have guests in this room. We have a group of teachers who are joining us. And the purpose of this interview this morning is to give an opportunity for the community to get to know who I am, Mr. Hennessey, the new principal at Union Elementary. And we'll talk about what we're going to do with this at the end of the interview. So Sadie is going to be doing the interviewing right now. And whenever you're ready, you can start.
When did you decide that you wanted to be a teacher?
Oh, that is such a great question. And it's a question that I bet everybody in this room would love to answer too, because many of us got to wanting to become a teacher in different ways. And I'm glad you're asking me about being a teacher, not a principal, because I still feel like I am a teacher, you know? And that's what's so exciting about it. But I have a very clear answer to this question. When I was a young man, I wanted to be a writer. And specifically, I wanted to be a sports writer. And I thought I'd be great at that. I've always loved to write, and boy, do I love sports. So I thought, put them all together. And that's what I started doing when I got out of school in college. But I wasn't really loving it. And then I met a young woman who I started to date, who I eventually married, and she invited me to a Christmas party when we first started dating together. And she had just started her teaching career. And when I went to that party, I didn't know anybody other than Susan. And what I did was, I had an experience where I got to listen to these people, there were probably 30 people at this party, talk about how much they love what they do. The stories were funny, entertaining, some of them were a little scary, but there was passion in what they were talking about. And I'd never experienced that before in my work. And I was a young guy. I had worked with students before as a coach. I had a little brother and I spent a lot of time with kids, and I always loved being with kids, but I never thought about being a teacher until that night. And I knew I had to pick something that I was going to do with my life that I was going to love. It was that one experience I had. And the next day, no exaggeration, I went to Boston University and applied to get into their teaching program. And from there, the rest is history. And you never know. Well, I guess the lesson is, if you're invited to a Christmas party, go. You never know what's going to happen if you go. The possibilities are limitless. So that's how I became a teacher.